because YouTube, oh my God, we're live on YouTube. Have I ever done
live on YouTube?
Have I ever done this before?
Not since I've been with you. It's a new thing, new place.
Let's have a drum roll, please. Ding. And here we are live on YouTube, brought to you by Stars Are Us. We have so many stars in this circle right here. We have Capricorns, we have Geminis, we have little Libra risings, a couple little Libra risings. I'm going once, going twice. Anybody want them? Oh, they're picking you, Kyle. They want those crystals over your head. How much are they going to charge them? Do those crystals don't even, how come it's gold? That doesn't make sense. How'd that crystal get gold?
Well, it was a amethyst geode, and they heated the one side to make it fade to citrine.
You did what to it?
I didn't do it. The manufacturer, whoever dug it up, they split it in half, and they heat the amethyst up, and it fades to citrine.
When you heat amethyst up, it fades to citrine?
Yeah, and if you put amethyst and citrine and smoky quartz in the sunlight, it'll fade.
What happens to us when we get put in the sunlight?
You get burnt.
Not me. Not me. I don't get burnt. I turn brown. Can you notice? Okay, here we are on YouTube having random conversations about the most important thing in the whole world, which is you falling in love with yourself. And we are going to repeat ourselves because my Mercury is in Taurus. I can't repeat myself. I'm a Gemini. We just did this interview. Let's do it a different version. Okay, this time we're going to start with you, Barbara. If you could change one, before the class started, if there was one thing about you that you didn't like, that you have come to understand, what would that be?
Well, I was very relationship oriented, and I really was codependent. I mean, I'm just going to call it out, codependent. And it was bad. And I had the sky is falling every time someone was upset with me. And it was just terrible. And
this is called Libra rising.
This made me fall in love with myself. Level 1 and level 2 made me fall in love with myself and have a relationship with myself. And I have better relationships with other people. So it also gave me the other thing I wanted.
God, that's so cool. I'm Libra rising. So are you, Jamie? Is that right?
Yeah.
It's a problem. And Lori has Moon and Libra. These are the personality types who go out of their way to compromise and accommodate at the expense of their authentic self. Like, it made me full of shit because I would just pretend that I was happy when I wasn't happy. And then I would end up becoming very resentful and feeling so inauthentic. So one of the gifts of astrology, there's a good example, is when I realized in my life that I didn't have to please people, that I could actually go towards disharmony. Like, I could let there be disharmony between us and say, you know what, we don't agree. And I'm in a group right now. I don't know if you know this. I'm in Hawaii in a group workshop that I'm not leading. And I can tell there's a couple of people that I'm bugging already because I'm a little too happy. It's annoying. You know, I have my personality, even though I don't say anything, my personality is a little too happy because and then this is what happens to Libras. Then we're either too nice, too happy, too pretty, too cute. Something's wrong. And then somebody immediately doesn't like you because it's just horrible. And then the job used to be like, I'd run over there and go, I like you. Or I just, now I'm like, fuck off. Is it okay to swear on YouTube? Now I'm like, you know, I like you. You don't like me. I can see you don't like me. And I'm not even going to try. And the liberation of not having to accommodate the other, because as you said, Barbara, we're not taking it personal. Freedom. Happy birthday to us. So there's one. So in the name of YouTube, and here's this conversation for people that are suffering from Libra, there's a lot of it in this room. You learn the permission slip to not take it personally. Well said, Barbara. Okay, Jamie, tell us something about you that you learned.
I was probably going to say the same thing, so I'll come up with something different.
No, you can say the same thing. How does it like that? Give us an example.
It's crazy. You just said it totally what I've experienced, to the point where I had a good friend who once got really mad at me saying that my life is so perfect and compared to hers, and I never suffer. And I'm like, what? Like that. Anyway, so I pretended to be really angry with her. This was a long time ago. And she loved that I was angry, but I was pretending to be. And then, and then I actually was angry. So that was a little glimpse into what I really have figured out now because of this class. What I don't need to be something else for, I can be who I need to be, not who other people think I need to be for them. And that I had no idea I was doing it. I think the thing about astrology is you often assume other people think like you, act like you, and it was kind of a
a light bulb.
Yes, a light bulb. Yeah, to realize that people are different, and a lot of people are just really selfish.
And they're supposed to be like that person that got pissed at you. You don't have to play with them. This is what you learn in astrology. Those people, you bug someone by being happy. I don't know what. It's so funny to a Gemini Libra, like, oh my God. But that's really irritating to them. So you don't have to change for them, which is astrology 101, which is what you learn, Jamie.
Yeah.
And then furthermore, you go find the people like you. This is unfortunate, but true. We get along best with, my best friend is a Gemini, because we could spend we spend 3 days on the phone. My partner looks at me and goes, let me guess, you're talking to Laurel. Like we're talking, but I'm so thankful that she doesn't think I talk too much. And that brings us to Lori. So Lori, what was one of the personality traits? I know you knew your chart, but talk about the boundary issue.
Oh, well, I knew my chart, but I didn't, doing the elements, I realized that I had no self-care at all. I had no water. I had water, I just wasn't expressing it. And I took care of everyone else except myself, and giving and giving and giving, you're empty. The tire's flat. Boom, 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 boom. That's what I was doing. And I just burnt out. I had to retreat. I just retreated. I didn't want anything to do with the human race, honestly.
That's exactly what happens to missing water. They go so extreme into water, they want to exclude themselves. It's so interesting that this is what I find so puzzling about humans. Like, it would not occur to you that you were overgiving because it was so much your nature. Right. Or it wouldn't occur to us Libras, Barbara and Jamie, that we were being so nice, that we were like, that seems so natural. But it's the very thing that we do unconsciously that sets us up for failure. And until someone turns the light on and makes the unconscious conscious, which is what astrology does. Astrology takes your unconscious mind, your behaviors that seem like you're breathing, like the fish swimming in water. Here we have the fish, the turtle. Suddenly they're aware of the water and they can name it and describe it. And that's what astrology is. It's putting language to what is so seemingly obvious that has never been put into words. It's so funny.
Yeah. And that's what you get when you do a reading, because you're speaking their chart and they're going, you're validating me. It's what I feel inside, but nobody's ever said it out loud. It's a validation. I find that most people know what I'm telling them. They already know. It's just they've never come out and somebody actually said it.
Like if someone says to you, you're obviously not doing self-care, all of a sudden the light came on. But it's bizarre, and it makes me,
you have to hear it.
I wonder about the design of humans. Like, what were they thinking when they made the unconscious only available when someone reflects that? Like, that was just mean. So your stupidest behaviors that are really harsh on yourself, you can't see, like, that's just mean. Why couldn't it just come with a memo? Debra, your pleaser is killing you. Lori, your lack of boundaries is killing. Oh, thank you so much for telling me. Oh my God. But no, you got to come take the astrology class and spend thousands of dollars to learn the obvious.
Right.
Okay,
And
Kyle.
it really helped me with my kids, because I used to make my sweet little Pisces go to things she didn't want to go to and couldn't understand why she didn't want to go. And now I just apologize to her and say, if you want to stay home, you can.
Exactly. That's what happened. Oh my God, that's totally what happened to my kid. Like, I had to say to him, I realized he had a Grand Trine in water and he hated parties. I was like, okay. It's okay. Okay, tell us, Kyle, what was your change of personality?
Well, the $1 million question was, what do I do for fun? So I'm all like earth and water and very little fire. And being a Marine, I just don't do fun. I work.
You were a Marine.
Yes,
How long did you do that, Mr. Astrology?
4 years. And then I went in the National Guard for a year. And then 10 years later, I went in the Naval Reserve as a CB.
Do they know you're doing this?
I don't think so.
They do now.
Even now, yeah.
And so back up again. So tell us again the part. So it was the Capricorn. Do that again. Tell me again what the part was that was.
I'm all Capricorn and Virgo, a little bit of Taurus.
But it's in what house? In the 7th?
I've got Capricorn ruling my 7th.
See that it's because you're like a scientist, a practical scientist. What got you to, how did the metaphysical thing happen? You're just an old soul. That's probably the answer.
I kind of just fell into it. I had a reading in Ybor City in Tampa, and the guy that did my reading, I was like not giving him any information back, so he had no idea how right he was. And at the end of the reading, he was like, "Look, you know, you kind of don't belong here." Like everything was going on around, but I was not involved in everything. So he was like, "Look, there's a new shop that just opened up nearby. You should come hang out. There's people like you." So there was astrologers, palmistry, Wiccans, numerologists, you know, the whole gambit. So I spent a lot of time hanging out and took psychic development class, palmistry, got my Reiki attunements,
Wow.
and just kind of fell into it.
So how does astrology fit into that context? Like what's the prime, tell us, because you've obviously got a library in your head. Where does astrology go in your library? Besides the fact that it starts with an A.
Yeah, alphabetical first, right? It's because I see patterns. I see it like in a third and fourth dimension because I can layer things and see where they're going. So it's predominant. I know
And
what's coming.
do you lean into astrology now? Does it become part of your vocabulary?
It does, and I keep getting yelled at because I speak too much the A plus B equals C and not the wordsmith like you are.
English.
Yeah, exactly. Who gets mad at you?
Everybody. They're like, what's that in English? I don't understand what that planet in this house means.
I know it's true. It's an art form. And this is probably easier for Lori, or as time goes by, to, as an air sign, to bring the abstract into articulation and then into human nature. Because that's what happened. You guys with Libra rising, it'd be easier. Like people want to know what that means. You've got Venus and Aries in the first house. Oh, that means that you're going to chase your lover around the house. Oh, that translated. You know, as compared to Venus and Aries in the first house. Wow, that's so great. Like you said nothing. Yeah, so it's a good thing to be able to translate. And that's what you guys are going to learn in the school. So all of you watching us, our first YouTube video ever. Hello. It's January 20th, 2020. Hey, we missed that. The 12020. I missed it. Oopsie. So
I don't understand. I missed it.
Oh,
search the web. I wasn't talking to you, Siri. You can just lie down now, really. She works overtime. I don't know why she does that. Why does she do that every once in a while? Just start talking to you.
it happens with my my Alexa too.
They just
She
start talking.
listens. They're
By
always
the way, they
listening.
know everything about you. It's kind of scary. I think the other thing I want to say is YouTube video is one of the places that my career got taken off. And as you all know, I have these crazy videos where I act like mental illness that I call it public schizophrenia. I know you love them. I hated it. I left them in a drawer for 5 years, never touched them. That's young Debra, because I was very embarrassed by my public schizophrenia. But apparently it has really served you guys in learning astrology.
It has, because you embodied the sign. And you know, I looked at you doing that and I thought, there is a woman who is so authentically herself. I want to be that when I grow up.
That
I
was
want to be that authentic. I want to not care what people think and be,
yeah.
just let it out.
That's so funny, 'cause I want to do that too. And I don't know who that girl was that did those videos. I think I had a walk-in experience. I'm sure you know what that is, Kyle.
Yeah,
I
you were
think I had a walk-
channeling.
I think somebody came into me that was like, it was Luciella, and she was like, we're going to use your body. And then when it was over, I was like, are you kidding me? Who is that woman? And don't put that in public, because then it's going to be like detrimental to my character. And then fast forward 20 years later, and now everybody's like, we're at 8 million views.
What
Everybody
made my
watches
husband
those.
watch you?
And what did
I
he
said-
say?
Well, he saw himself as a Capricorn, and it was perfect because then I could tell him he's a bossy know-it-all, but have you say it.
It worked. I know, that's so cute. So, okay, you guys, I have to go do a reading now, but I'm going to say thank you to all of you for being here. We just did a first YouTube video. You guys were there January 21st, 2020. It's amazing we're in 2020. We're in the future. It arrived. It includes astrology. The card was only open twice a year. Right now, it opened yesterday till February 2nd, and then again in September. So if you're going to take this class, you don't get February 4th. Thanks, Kristen. If you're going to take this class, you do not get to do it except twice a year. So honestly, push the button. And I love that Kyle in our last interview said he waited to the last day, which is typical, which is February 4th. But I just want to say to everyone out there, if you're skeptical, we have a guarantee. The first class you take is free. If at the end of level 1's first class, you didn't get an aha, then quit. But we have hardly ever had anyone quit because it's addicting. So I just have to do the disclaimer. I am a drug dealer. I am publicly acknowledging that, outing myself, and the police are not coming.
And it's very supportive. That's what I love about the mentors and the 10 students per class. It's so supportive and loving environment. You will really feel comfortable being able to be yourself.
And Lori should be a commercial with Mars on the Sun and Gemini. You know, the thing is, at IBM, they did a study, and this is many, many years ago, that between 10 and 12 people in a room is how you keep intimacy. So I won't let the group get bigger. We could, obviously, but I don't.
It works.
If it works, keep doing it. How does that go again? It works if you work it. Keep coming back, one day at a time. We're 12 steppers. Hi, I'm Debra. I'm an astrology addict, and I've got 4 of my favorite people sitting right here. They have the addiction too, but don't feel bad. It makes you feel good when you're done with this addiction.
Totally.
It's the best addiction in town. You're going to fall in love with yourself and want to turn everyone on to it. Okay. Can I go work now, you guys? I love all of you. I'm so thankful you're all here, and I hope we get to see you soon.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.